Disclaimer. The opinions and speculations presented in discussions about true crime are based on available information, public records, and individual perspectives. They do not constitute factual claims or legal conclusions. Content provided is for entertainment purposes only.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
Order in the court!
Hey guys, welcome to Strange Suspicion. If you have not been here before, my name is Pia, and we have been covering the Bryan Kohberger case. If you are a subscriber or a paid member, shout out to you guys, welcome back. And today, I hope everybody's had a wonderful week so far, and let's get right into the Bryan Kohberger case. Another thing that's been brought to my attention so many times, guys, this true crime podcast. The creator's name is T-Rev. The voice that you hear on this traffic stop could be the voice on this podcast. I encourage you to listen very closely to both and listen to the nuances and tones that he uses, because I believe that this absolutely could be Bryan Kohberger.
I think you know why I stopped you. You ran the red light.
What actually happened was I was stuck in the middle of the intersection.
Yeah,
so
I was behind you the whole time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not much, man. I found you today. I watched your live earlier this afternoon and been watching this one, and the thing that strikes me kind of weird about all this is that I live in a college town, and I've worked with probably at least 10 Sigma Chi members, and you know, the one thing that every single one of them I feel like has asked me is, if you were going to kill somebody, how would you get away with it?
What the fuck?
That kind of sounds like you're trying to suppress the story. I mean, why do you not need help? But hey, I could be wrong, and you officers, I apologize if I'm wrong.
Yeah,
I want to. Please forgive me. Please forgive me.
Social media users began sharing Reddit posts that they claim were written by the suspect.
The posts say, "I am inviting you to participate in a research project that seeks to understand how emotions and psychological traits influence decision-making when committing a crime." The poster identified himself as Bryan Kohberger, and the posts were shared in subreddits like ex-cons and prisons. So, let's verify. Did Bryan Kohberger write the posts on Reddit asking for help researching why people commit crimes?
Our sources are court documents filed in Leda County District Court in Idaho,
DeSales University, and a review of Internet Archives of Reddit using the Wayback Machine. The posts on Reddit appeared in June and have since been removed from the platform. Prosecutors introduced an affidavit written by Moscow, Idaho police, which confirmed the Reddit posts were made by Kohberger. Using the Wayback Machine, we were able to look at the original posts. They included a DeSales University email address for Bryan Kohberger. DeSales confirms Kohberger was a student there until 2022, where he earned his bachelor's in psychology and a master's in criminal justice. So, yes, Bryan Kohberger did post on Reddit asking for help researching why people commit crime.
I believe that this absolutely could be Bryan Kohberger. But that's just my opinion. If your opinion isn't the same, I still want to hear it. I would love to hear it, because I just want to get down to the bottom of this case. Now, that's a great motive. Maybe somebody had heard that, and they thought Bryan's next step was to go to the police. If anybody associated with him at all, they would know this was his voice. And if anybody was listening to that true crime podcast, I've heard that Kaylee was a great big fan of true crime. So it's very likely her friends were as well. Speaking of intimate details, Bryan Kohberger and women, it's very interesting that in this document that I found, it's basically a document about Bethany's testimony or her
alleged exculpatory
evidence that would free Bryan. She wants the information sealed. And the reason is because it would disclose intimate, private details that could incriminate her somehow in her personal life. So I'm wondering what that could be. Because it has to do with Bethany and Bryan. You know, like a man and a woman.
allegedly.
Like intimate. So I'm wondering, what could be so intimate, you know? This like weird incel guy and Bethany? I don't know, it seems like kind of obvious. Unless it's Bryan's involvement with one of the roommates. And intimate details of it that people don't want to get out. What do you guys think it is? Bryan Kohberger is actually, like, I would say, like, as feminist as a guy could get. There's a show on Hulu called The Handmaid's Tale, and Margaret Atwood gave a lecture about the book.
Once upon a time in the recent future, a country went wrong. Ecological disasters ravaged the land, resulting in civil war, political turmoil, and widespread sterility. Only a very few women could still bear children. These women were called handmaids.
Sorry for helping.
You can see Bryan. He's right in the front row. Very smart guy. He's tall, you know. Girls might find him attractive. And the last I heard, people thought that Bryan Kohberger was an incel. There's like a lot of women interested in Bryan Kohberger. But the one that goes over the top is this girl from Kentucky that makes him out to be like some kind of like sex symbol or like some kind of huge desire. She like wants to be with Bryan Kohberger more than anybody ever should. On the other hand, there was a woman who...
He kept trying to tickle me, and I would ask him to stop, or I'd say, "What are you doing?" And he would be like, I'm not tickling you, and he would get very serious. I proceeded to pretend to throw up in the bathroom, hoping that, you know, it would gross him out and he would leave.
Yes.
He had messaged me on Tinder and said that he was leaving and that he had a good time and that he would message me later.
No.
And then about an hour later, he messaged me and he said that I had good birthing hips, and
No.
I just never messaged him back after that.
Giving me Charlie Manson vibes.
Wait a minute, what is this shit?
Sir, no cussing in court!
So this part is kind of amusing to me because people believe in the right to privacy in the United States. Like, we actually believe we have the right to privacy. It's like a fallacy. It's like an outdated practice to have privacy. Privacy, it doesn't exist. It's just hidden. There are things hidden in plain sight. You know how we're all discussing the cell phone tower that Bryan was picked up on all over the place. There's a lot of people picked up on that cell phone tower. Ridiculous. They're all over the place, and you can see them. They're really, really, really easy to see. Some of the newer ones are less obnoxious, but just like law enforcement and the FBI don't tell you everything, neither does our government. There's cell phone towers in places you wouldn't even believe.
My name is Tom Moylan. I'm the president of SteepleCom. We are a company that represents thousands of churches nationwide to help them do deals with tower companies to use their steeples in their properties for cell sites.
I'm actually just from a very rural area, so we just don't have crosswalks.
Oh.
Unless I visit an area where there are crosswalks,
Gotcha.
and then it's not very frequent.
Yeah.
I do apologize if I was asking you too many questions about the law. I wasn't trying to
No, not at all. Like, I understand you're not from here, so if you don't, a lot of people don't know a bunch of laws.
If maybe this is nothing more than some kid in a fraternity trying to prove himself. And that was it.
But for some reason, people want this guy to go down. And they're gonna do whatever it takes. So before passing judgment, it would be great if we would just look at the facts. Okay, once again, I want to thank all my channel members, paid members and unpaid members, all subscribers, and all new people who came to this channel. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video with people who you think are good critical thinkers, intelligent-minded people who would enjoy my content. I'll see you guys on Monday at 4:20.
This court herewith binds you over for a further appearance to be held at 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. We so deem for the public and common good that you be confined herein. So for now,
What are you kidding?
good night, Irene!